event, WBAY anniversary. If you could work your way in, we're going to start the presentation soon. Okay, if everyone can get seated, we'd like to start in the next few minutes. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to WBAY-TV, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Attention please. We need you to find your seats nearly now. Actually, 5 minutes ago, we're running late, but what else is in TV news? Remember now, we're in the news business. We got to be on 3, 2, we'll count you now. Find your seats if you would, folks. We'll get this thing on the road. I know Steve's got his speech all ready to go. We got him to cut it down to 16 pages. That's why we need to be on time. Find your seats and we'll get this thing rolling right away. Thank you again for coming. It's so special.
Okay, everyone, we're starting in 1 minute. We're going to start in 1 minute, so please take your seats and we'll visit a lot after. Thank you.
All right, guys, we need to find our seats here. I just saw some security detail here. That means the governor's in the house. So if you would please find your seats, we'll start our program here in 20 seconds. And to us, that should mean something.
holding in my hands a copy of the original script of the very first telecast on WBAY 70 years ago today at 7 o'clock. I'd like to read a little bit of that. So, March 17th, 1953, 7 p.m. Booth announcer. This is the Bay Station, WBAY, Channel 2, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Pause for the music. Gone with the Wind. RCA version. Side 1, cut 1, 33 1/3 RPMs. Play that for a full 18 seconds. Fade into cue, booth announcer. Good evening, friends. We are pleased to have you join us on this long-awaited occasion, the beginning of regularly scheduled television broadcasting by WBAY-TV. Tonight marks the coming of television service to Green Bay and northeastern Wisconsin. WBAY is proud to be the station to initiate the newest and most dynamic medium of communication in one of America's finest, richest areas. The coming of television to northeastern Wisconsin is an event of historic importance. So I don't know if the producer wrote this, but very, very perceptive. That booth announcer said a couple of things that stuck with me. Very perceptive. The newest and most dynamic medium of communication. 70 years later, broadcast television is still the most powerful media ever invented. Broadcast TV's obituary has been written multiple times, and I can think in my years in this business, it's been written multiple times but never published. Back in the late 80s, early 90s, when cable television had a pretty good penetration, they writ our obituary. It never ran. Back when the internet started, late 90s, 2000, it was written again. The obituary never ran. More recently, over the top streaming services, they're writing our obituary, and it's never going to run. Yeah. You know, as far as a business is concerned, if you think about it, cable television has been a godsend for broadcast television because we actually generate retransmission rights. It's a huge amount of revenue to us. Right now, it's a full 1/3 of our advertising revenue comes from selling our digital products and reselling other digital products. And most recently, we're actually selling our commercials into OTT or streaming services on a targeted basis. So it's making us even stronger, all of those things. The other interesting thing that booth announcer said, and many of you will have to agree with this, in one of America's finest and richest areas. How blessed are we to live and work here in northeastern Wisconsin? How many of you in this audience came to Green Bay for a drink of water? Thought you'd be here for a couple years and move on. I'm one of them, right? I'm thinking when Chuck Ramsey and his family came in 1960 to this television station, I don't think it was part of the master plans to love it here, retire here, raise his family here, and he did, right? I was speaking with Rex Marks. He was coming to this. He was coerced by his brother to come for a short amount of time to the television station. He thought he'd be gone in a year and a half, 2 years, had no intentions. I believe it was back in 2015, we celebrated his 50th anniversary. He retired in 2017 after 52 years here. Met his wife, Rita. Many of you, Don Carmichael, just spoke with him on the phone yesterday. He famously tells a story about being recruited to come here as the general manager, and he turned to Bev. They were both in the South. Turned to Bev, and Bev says, she goes, "It's only going to be for a couple of years, and I'll buy you a fur coat." She said, Don retired in 2013, raised his family here, loved it here, and enjoyed northeastern Wisconsin, one of the finest, richest areas of the country. So it is so great to see all of you here that paved the way for WBAY. You were the passionate people who did absolutely amazing journalism. You forged a legacy that we as current employees strive to continue every day. Sure, the business has changed, right? No longer are we spinning records at 33 1/3 to get sound. Gone is the film and the tapes that Rex worked on so many years ago. The cameras have gotten a whole lot lighter. We don't have a helicopter or a plane because we have drones. But it still comes down to incredible people. And right now in this room, there are a bunch of incredible people, so thank you. Much gratitude for coming here today and help us recognize this truly historic day. So we have a short video to show you. Jeff Alexander and photojournalist Will Senkowski worked on it. This is my opportunity to give Will a shout out. We just celebrated Will's 25th anniversary a couple weeks ago, and he's been working over the last 3 months to dig up footage from the bowels of this building to get those things together. There probably isn't a piece of information or story or content on our air that Will hasn't had his fingers in. Did an exceptional job, so enjoy.
I know I speak for all of us in saying there is a tremendous amount of pride when we walk in the door every day. WBAY has always been and remains the most popular go-to station in Northeast Wisconsin. It's a legacy we all take it very seriously. For many in today's WBAY family, this station is a part of their earliest memories.
I grew up watching WBAY, and now to be here as part of the team, we are incredibly honored. We have such a strong tradition, amazing journalism, and passionate people.
I mean, there's no doubt about it. We grew up as a kid, and the new show was must see TV. We grew up on a farm, and you shut up during the news because of the farm workers who are.
Mike Austin, Channel 2's farm specialist, brings you the only complete agribusiness report in the area.
And then it was just TV station, and that's what it was that way.
Friends waiting in the news department here at WBAY-TV are quite excited today.
And it's all thanks to the station's pioneers, both those on the air and behind the scenes who worked at WBAY for decades.
Len Heidelfeld was a guy who worked with the Packers. Bobby Nelson. If I had $5 for every passed away, how would Bobby Nelson before he passed away? I don't know which man.
Good evening, Fred. We are pleased to have you join us.
As the first station on the air in Northeast Wisconsin, WBAY's history is unmatched, and we hear that often.
When you say you work for WBAY, people are like, oh, legacy station. I always watched that. I grew up watching that. And now I'm getting to the age where people are saying to me, I remember watching you when I was younger, and now they have families of their own, so it's coming full circle.
WBAY has become a second home for many of us, a family-like feeling on the air and off.
What you see on television, we are real, and behind the scenes, all of us together, people who work in production and sales and marketing, photographers, we're all together. People who were here 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I mean, I came up with a lot of you guys. It's you were at the wedding, you know, and that's just crazy to me that, you know, to see people, and you have families, and now your kids are, you know, off on their own, and it's kind of cool because we keep people, which is part of our legacy.
A legacy now spanning 7 decades. And while a lot has changed technology-wise and with the tools we use to gather the news, other things have not.
A much faster pace, but I think we still have that tradition, we still have those values, and that has stayed original. You know, to its core, we are who we are, and this tradition is carried on at WBAY.
I've always felt, from my perspective, I'm just trying to carry that tradition that came before me. You know, Chuck Rand, the Les Sterlings, Joe Schmitz, guys like that, Bobby Nelson, that kind of blazed the trail for us to be where we are. We're the second TV station in the state of Wisconsin. And we kind of set the standard. People learn how to do television, how to watch television through us. And we continue on that tradition. We continue that legacy. My job is to build more.
Happy 70th anniversary to WBAY-TV in Green Bay, the legacy station, and the second station on the air in the entire state of Wisconsin. From everybody here at GMA, thank you for all you do for the years of Northeast Wisconsin. Cheers to your decades of success and many amazing years to come.
Happy 70th anniversary, WBAY, from everyone here at Good Morning America.
Thank you for all you do for the viewers of Northeast Wisconsin.
Thank you, Jeff and Will. Appreciate the work you did on that. It is my pleasure to introduce Wisconsin Governor Tony Evers, but before I leave the microphone, I have a few things to say. I want to thank Governor Evers for his business in 2022. I'm sorry it's taken till March of 23 to give you your plaque for being in the top 5 advertisers, but we appreciate the business.
Actually, that's funny. I've got this script I'm working off of, and I realized that I didn't know you were going to talk about revenue. And then Steve started talking about revenue, and I thought, well, hell, all the revenue that I brought to the station, two elections and the primary too. Anyway, good afternoon, everybody. It's great to be here, and pleasure to help celebrate 70 years of WBAY. I've got you by a couple years here. Over the last 7 decades since the station first went on the air, WBAY has grown to be a trusted household name in Wisconsin, now covering 18 counties and serving nearly 500,000 viewers. You think about that. And for a good share of my life, and my wife Kathy, born and raised in Plymouth, we had the opportunity of watching WBAY, and we lived in Oshkosh and Omro, and were able to continue that. I've been asking this question all along since I've been here today. It is my recollection that WBAY did the Romy Gaz polka hour back in the day. And anybody else remember that except for me? There we go. And it's also my recollection is that the weatherman was the host of that event. So, yes, absolutely. So, you've been part of me, and thank you for putting me where I am today. In 70 years, you've covered 14 other governors, 4 Green Bay Packers Super Bowl wins, major milestones in our state and country's history, and countless stories highlighting what it makes this corner of the world, Northeast Wisconsin, so special. Not only that, but I want to be here today because I want to highlight the importance of local journalism and a free press. Folks, the hard work you do is the cornerstone of our democracy and a fundamental part of the fabric of our state. You bring vital information to residents across the Fox Valley and the Bay Area. You're first ones to get to an event, first ones that people see in the morning and the last at night. And you become trusted, reliable voices in people's living rooms. You're also a critical part of accountability and transparency in combating mis- and disinformation, not from politicians, of course. And you also play a vital role in making sure Wisconsinites have the information and resources they need. Yes, it's about making sure people can be engaged and thoughtful participants in our democracy and our society. It's also about learning more about each other. I believe it plays an important role in our ability to show compassion for each other. So I'm here today to celebrate 70 years of WBAY, and I know you'll continue to inform Green Bay, the Greater Fox Valley, and our state, and ensure we continue to have a strong democracy. So to celebrate all your efforts over the last 70 years, from reporting on the news, weather, and our favorite sports pastimes, Romy Gaza included, I am proud to present a proclamation recognizing today as WBAY-TV Day in Wisconsin. Enjoy the rest of the next 70 years, folks. Steve? Just want to do the last part of it. Whereas today the state of Wisconsin joins WBAY-TV and its dedicated team of journalists, past and present, in celebrating 70 years of quality programming, news, weather, and sports coverage that was investigative, informative, and inspirational, and serves as a trusted source of local and state news for Wisconsinites across the state. Now, therefore, I, Tony Evers, Governor of the state of Wisconsin, do hereby claim March 17, 2023 as WBAY-TV Day in Wisconsin. Steve.
Thank you, Governor Evers. I also want to thank Green Bay Mayor Eric Genrich for taking time out of his busy day to join us today. Now, Mayor Genrich, you still have a couple weeks before the election. If you want to get on that top 5 list, we got 14, 15 days. Yeah, keep working at it. Yeah. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, thanks so much, Steve, for the invitation to join you all on this really great occasion for the entirety of the community. As somebody who is who's born and raised in Green Bay, WBAY was a part of my childhood, part of my adulthood, and it's wonderful to be able to be here to celebrate with you all. I'm old enough to remember when Bill was just a sports anchor, and look how far he's come, right? But it's yeah, no offense to the other sports anchors in the room. But the work that he and Cammie and the entirety of the on television personalities and the folks behind the scenes do is so vital to this community. And as Steve was alluding to earlier, there's so much fragmentation in the media landscape, especially across the country with cable and online news. But people continue to tune in each and every night because you all are a very trusted source of news, and trust is in short supply in our society generally, but especially in the media landscape. And so it's a real credit to you that folks are continuing to tune in each and every night because of the value that you offer to this community and to Northeast Wisconsin. So thank you for everything you do in that regard. I too have a proclamation. I serve as your mayor, but also the town crier. So one of my principal responsibilities is to proclaim things for you, and so I will make things official as well from the city of Green Bay's perspective. So whereas WBAY-TV was the first television station in the Green Bay Appleton market and the second television station in the entire state of Wisconsin to go on the air, debuting on March 17, 1953, and whereas WBAY Action 2 News serves residents in 18 Wisconsin counties and a TV household population of more than 438,000 to keep them informed of breaking news, inclement weather, and much more. And whereas WBAY produces 36 hours of local and state news, weather, and sports coverage, including the Green Bay Packers, Milwaukee Bucks, Milwaukee Brewers, and more each week. And whereas the market-leading ABC affiliate has received numerous prestigious Edward R. Murrow Awards for high-quality journalism over the past 5 years, including overall excellence. And it's WBAY.com is the #1 news and information website in all of Northeast Wisconsin. And whereas the legacy station is committed to improving the lives of those it serves through numerous philanthropic efforts, such as holding the record for the longest running local telethon in the nation on the same channel with the CP Telethon every year, which has been broadcast on WBAY since 1954, as well as serving as a drop-off location and broadcast partner for the Salvation Army's annual Coats for Kids donation drive and the U.S. Marines Toys for Tots holiday giving campaign. And whereas WBAY and its hardworking, dedicated, passionate team of journalists, both past and present, is celebrating 70 years of providing quality programming, news, weather, and sports coverage that is investigative, informative, life-saving, inspirational, and more, serving as a trusted, accurate source for local and state news and a champion for community causes. Now, therefore, I, Eric Genrich, Mayor of the City of Green Bay, do hereby proclaim March 17, 2023 as WBAY-TV Day throughout the City of Green Bay, and I commend this observance to all of our fellow citizens. Congratulations to everyone.
So this concludes our formal program. Let me tell you what's going on this afternoon. Stick around and enjoy some refreshments. Some current WBAY employees will be in the lobby to do group tours if you'd like to do that. See kind of some of the behind the scenes stuff. Whatever you do, I need to have you back in the lobby by 2:15. We're going to take a group picture of everyone, and if you're not back by 2:15, you miss it. And also tonight between 5 and 10 o'clock or this evening, we're having a little informal get-together at Hagemeister Park downtown. Pizza and wings will be served about 6:30, cash bar. Please come and enjoy that and meet with some other friends that couldn't make it today. So thank you again, everyone, for visiting